So now that we looked into how the synchronization works and some of the restrictions that we have, let's look into some of the most common issues that we encounter when using OneDrive for Business. So over here, on this machine, I have Office 2016 installed, which has OneDrive for Business as well. And if I go to my OneDrive for Business icon, to my folder, I see that I have 54 files remaining, and this status has been for quite a few days. So this is one of the most common issues that people encounter. Synchronization is stuck on X number of files. Let's open our folder. And here it is. So we see some of the files have green check marks. We have over here a folder that has a red cross, and then we have a folder that is still synchronizing, and we have these underscore files that has a green check. So we have quite a few different issues over here. And if we open this folder, we see that is empty. If we go to the new folder over here to this one, it has quite a few files, and it was with the status over here that it's pending synchronization. And this one had the red cross marks, and if we open it, we see quite a few files as well. So the best way for us to do this is to solve this stuck files issue is first to get a full list of all the files that are inside our library. When we encounter this stuck synchronization, this is usually a symptom of having folders that have underscore files. We saw previously on our test that one folder, just a simple test with one folder, didn't give us that stuck synchronization issue. But in this case, on this library over here, we have multiple folders and subfolders with multiple files, hundreds of files. So when we have such large amount of files and folders and subfolders, and some of the subfolders also have underscore files on the extension, we will have that scenario will result in the synchronization getting stuck. We don't know at which point, but it will get stuck. So when we get this symptom, what we need to do to correct it is to get a full list of all the items inside the library and try to understand what items don't have the correct name. So let's do just that. So if I open my folder again, I have this, and if I go to the site, what we are going to try to do now is to get a list of all the files that are on the library. So notice that, for instance, in here on the library, we don't have some of the files that are on our online library, for instance this one. And why is this? For instance, this file has a tilde at the beginning of the name, and we know from the restrictions and limitations that files or folders that have the tilde at the beginning of the name are not supported. So this is already an indication that that file is not being synchronized because of that. But let's get a full list of all the items that we have inside the library. To do that, we need to connect a map drive, and I did just that over here. It's a map drive to my OneDrive for Business documents library. And what we are going to do now, is to get command prompt, navigate to my Z drive, there it is, and what I'm going to do is get a full search of the full directory. So let's do just that, and I want this to go to a file, no, named files and folders names.txt, and let's see. Okay, so it finished running. So now we should have this file inside in our directory. So let's see. Let me refresh this view. We are on our map drive, and there it is, our files and folders. So let's cut this and paste it on the desktop, just so that it doesn't interfere with the synchronization as well. Okay, so here it is. Now, this file is just a list of all the items inside the library, folders and subfolders. And what we are going to do now is get this file into an Excel, and we are going to analyze it there. So just like we did before. So let's open Excel. Let's import our file. So we saved it on the desktop. So it's just like this. We don't need to do anything else. We just want a list of the files. And let's choose A2. Okay. And let's create it separated them. Let's do this again. New sheet. Need to be careful not to make them separate, so let's do like this. And let's put in a character that does not exist, and we should be fine. Now let's close this, and here we have it. So we can delete this one. Okay, and in here it's names. Let's filter it. So right now we have a list, complete list of all the files and folders names inside our documents library. So when we have that stuck synchronization issue, the first thing we should look at is to look for folders or that have unsupported names. In this case, we know that we have underscore files folders, folders with the name underscore files. We don't know how many in each one, so we are going to look just for that. So in here, we're going to look to this, and we immediately get the folders, and we get also the files that are inside the folders. So let's look into just which folders we have. To do that, we change the filter to underscore files and then a slash. Like this, we know that we are looking just for folders. Actually, let's do like this. No, we need to look like this, yeah. Okay, so in here we have immediately a list of all the files that are inside the underscore files folders and all the folders. So let's start by looking into here. So in here we have a folder named AAA underscore files. The first thing we need to do, since we cannot rename this folder because currently it's being synchronized, the first thing that we need to do is copy the folder content to another location. So let's do just that. So in here I have my desktop. Let's open our Z drive again. Okay, Here we have it. And now we know that we cannot rename this folder, so our only option is to copy the folder's content into a backup folder and then delete the folder from the SharePoint site. We have our backup over here, so let's open it, and then let's first create a folder named AAA. And now inside this folder we are going to copy all the content that we have inside. But notice that we first need to search if we have any other folders that are not allowed. So let's copy simply the documents first. So let's do like this. Into our backup, we know that our folder AAA has this incorrect name, so what we do is copy the entire folder into our backup. Okay, it copied the first folder that we are analyzing, and let's immediately change the name over here on our backup. So let's delete the underscore files and let's look inside here. Now, since we are looking into this folder, let's filter our results to have so immediately we have all the results inside the test folder. So these are our documents, so that's fine, but we immediately get another folder over here inside the AAA files folder. It's CCC. So let's change that in our backup. So we go back over here, our backup, let's put it side by side. And inside AAA we should have our CCC folder. So let's change that to have to remove these underscore files. Immediately get that. Okay, these are documents, and don't think I have, and we have another file over here. And notice again that we have a tilde in the beginning of the name, which is the same as we have over here. It's the same document. So let's rename this as well on our backup folder. This is our backup that is on the desktop. Let's look into it. So files, and this is just text document, and then this is inside our CCC folder. So let's see if there isn't anything else from our A folder. No. So let's filter now by first look inside our CCC folder. So let's look like this. So it's our file. So this is just documents, and inside documents we have again a tilde. So we need to go inside this one and remove this tilde. And besides this, yes, I think inside this we don't have any other. So let's clear our filter. Okay, so we look into this. Let's go to the next one. We have a tilde on our Z drive. So everything that has that begins with AAA underscore files has already been verified. Let's look into the next thing on our Z drive. So we see here that we have not allowed with the tilde on our Z drive. Let's go there, and here it is. So what we do is we copy it to our backup folder, which is here. We paste it, and we rename it on our backup folder, not on our Z drive. On our Z drive we are going to delete it. Then this is okay, and we find on our Z drive a test underscore files folder. So let's look into it. Let's first do what we did here. So on our Z drive, there it is. Let's copy this folder to our backup folder. Okay, so we copied the content of our test underscore files, and on our backup folder, it's where we are going to rename the folder. Remove this, there it is, and now let's search inside this folder if we have anything that we shouldn't have. So let's search it, and in here it seems to be okay, all documents. This one seems to be okay as well, it's another folder inside this one. And we immediately see over here another folder inside that is underscore files inside the Z folder. So let's first finish looking into the Z folder, the test, inside the test underscore files folder. So in here should be fine. And we get over here, so this already is beginning to look inside the folders that are inside this one. So up to here is all the items inside the Z folder, so the test underscore files folder. So we only found this one that might not be good. Let's change that one. So we go inside the test, and here it is, and let's rename this to have just this name. And since we renamed this folder, let's search it right now. Now we are going to look inside this folder. So in here, and we immediately find this file over here, which is not good. Here it is. So we delete the title. Okay, let's see if we find anything else that we shouldn't. So this is our document. Okay, inside this folder, besides this file over here, seems to be everything alright. So let's continue to search inside our test underscore files folder. So we saw that we encountered this, which we already corrected inside our test. And besides this, we didn't see anything immediately inside it. So let's start looking inside the folders that we have. So now we are inside the folder dd underscore f, and it seems to be all documents. And we get over here inside this folder a not allowed file. So let's go inside this folder and let's remove the title. Okay, let's continue to look. Okay, we get over here, we already searched the DDD folder. Then, of course, we get the EE underscore files, which we already analyzed it. This was already corrected. And everything seems to be alright. So our test underscore files has already been corrected. Let's go back to our backup. So here it is. Let's go to the next. So this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, okay. So our AAA underscore files folder has already been corrected, so we can go past everything that begins with AAA underscore files. And we get to the forms folder. Remember, this is a system folder. We should not interfere with this folder. And then let's go to This is okay, this seems okay. And it seems that in our new folder we have a DDD_files. So what we do is we are going to copy from our map drive our new folder over here. Okay, so let's now analyze our new folder. Okay, and we go to DDD_files. Let's open it, and we immediately get it over here. Let's first look into it. So let's rename this to DDDDD. Remember, we are only renaming in our backup folder. We don't do any changes on our Z drive. And let's continue to look our new folder. So there it is, DDD files. Then we have our FFF_F folder, which seems to be okay up to now. And we get over here, it's another folder, so that's okay. And now we are analyzing this folder. Finished over here, this folder seems to be okay. And we get again the DD_files, which we already corrected. Now we are looking into the files inside. And we immediately get over here, inside our DDD_files folder, there seems to be a tiled over there. So let's go change it. So there it is. Okay, let's continue. And we got to the end of the list, so I think we corrected everything. Let's clear up this filter and go back to backup. Let's continue. So we already saw. So there it is. We entered the new folder. We already corrected this one, and we analyzed everything inside the new folder. We already corrected everything inside our test_files folder as well. Then we have folder 01, which seems to be, everything seems to be okay. So right now, we already corrected everything that there was to correct on our Z drive. So what we do now, after we made sure that everything is perfectly fine, so we could simply look into these folders again, but since we already corrected, what we do is we go back to our Z drive, and first, before deleting anything over here, let's stop the synchronization of OneDrive. So let's click OneDrive, stop singing folder, OneDrive for reasons, let's click stop singing, yes. So here it is, OneDrive. And now this should be a normal folder, but let's confirm first. So let's close all folders over here, all Windows View Explorers. We still have the icon over here, so let's wait to have it confirmed that the synchronization is indeed stopped. This is another issue that we usually get, that if OneDrive is so busy, we have issue and have so many sync issues, we have problems trying to stop synchronization. Let's wait a little bit, otherwise we will force the stop of the synchronization. So open the task manager to see. So since it's taking some time to actually stop the synchronization, so as we saw here, the folder, the icon still appears to be synchronized. So what we are going to do is to force the stop of the synchronization. To do that, we first need to stop OneDrive and then completely clear up the cache of OneDrive. When we do this, we need to be absolutely sure that we don't have any files over here open, so we should close any files that we have open. And then we should go back to Task Manager and we should stop two processes, which are the groove.exe process and the msosync. In this case, it's already stopped, so it would be the we saw here the groove started again. Let's click to end task, make sure, and then the msosync process. So we don't see over here the msosync, we see here the icon for groove disappeared. Now that is stopped, what we need to do is go to C, users, then let's go to our user, then inside our user let's go to a folder, a hidden folder, which is app data. First let's rename. So right now we have a OneDrive for Business folder over here, and if we try to rename it, we have the red cross, so that means that this folder probably won't allow us to rename. Let's see. It doesn't allow us because some program is still working on this folder. Let's click cancel, and this is the OneDrive for Business that is still working. So that's why we need to force to stop the synchronization. Let's try again through over here, stop syncing. Yes. Let's see if we can. If we cannot rename it, it means that the folder, the synchronization has not been properly stopped. So it doesn't allow us. So even, and one indication of that is we should have received the second prompt informing us that the synchronization is no longer being done to this folder, and since we didn't receive, that means the synchronization has not been properly stopped. So what we do, we will force to stop the synchronization. So here it is. This process and this process are the two processes that we need to stop. Let's click end task, and then the msosync one. Let's click end task again. Okay, now let's go to a folder that is hidden, which is app data. Then let's go to local, Microsoft Office, and here it is. Inside the folder Office, the first thing that we need to do is to delete this SPW folder. Delete or rename it. So let's rename this folder to _old, and then inside the 16 let's rename this folder Office File Cache to _old as well. Okay, now that we have renamed these folders, the OneDrive for Business is no longer running, so let's try to rename this folder now. So right now it seems to be a normal folder. We have the icon that appeared, the OneDrive for Business icon appeared again, but if you click now, no folders are being synchronized. So the synchronization has been successfully stopped for this folder over here, for OneDrive for Business. And what we did was simply stopping this process, first on Task Manager, and then we went to the app data, local, Microsoft office, and then inside that folder we rename the spw folder to spw_old, and then inside the 16 folder, so let me show you again, rename the office file cache to office file cache_old. So if you want to force stop the synchronization, first we need to make sure that we tried through the icon and it didn't work, we need to make sure that all the files over here are closed. So we did that. We went to this folder, Microsoft Office, and then we renamed the spw to spw_old. Notice that as soon as OneDrive starts again, so right now it has already started, but we don't have any libraries being synchronized, but as soon as it starts again, it creates a new folder. So this folder is okay, it's new, but this folder is an old folder, and we renamed it to spw_old. And then we go to 16, and once again, we renamed this the office file cache folder to _old, and notice that OneDrive created one once again, it started to run. But by renaming those folders, by stopping those processes and renaming the folders, we force the synchronization to stop. So right now, if we rename this old folder over here, we should be able to rename it. And as we saw before, we were not being able to rename it because it was being used by the application. So let's see. So there it is, it's renamed, and this folder is no longer connected to the cloud at all. So we will leave this folder over here simply for let's say to have a backup of all the files, but this folder is no longer connected to the cloud. And to make sure of that, let's completely delete that those folders. So after we rename that folder to _old, now we go back to our office, and then let's first stop this process again. Okay, we stopped them, and now let's delete both of the folders, the new one that was just created and the old one. And the same for office file cache. Okay, so now it's completely stopped. Let's close this. And if we go to our C, users, admin, we have over here, let's change the view to details. We have over here these folders. Currently, OneDrive is not running. Let's now go back to our Z drive. And remember, we had a backup which we already corrected on our desktop. So let's open our desktop as well. Okay, and what we do now is inside our backup we have these folders and this file. So we go, after we stop the synchronization, so right now it's no longer being synchronized, we simply delete only the folders that we changed over here. So the AA folder was changed, so we can delete it on our Z drive. So let's click delete. And yes, I'm sure I want to permanently delete. Okay. And remember, only the folders that we changed over here. Okay. So that folder was deleted. Let's go to next. So it's the new folder, this one. Let's delete it as well. So remember, we are deleting on our map drive, so this is being directly deleted on our SharePoint site, on our personal site. Okay, so our new folder was already deleted as well. Next is our test folder, so it's this test_files. And last but not least, the not allowed file, which had a tilde at the beginning. We need to delete it from over here. Okay, so right now we delete it from our map drive, so now on our SharePoint site it should be deleted as well. Let's confirm. Let's refresh the page. And there is no folders none of the folders that we just deleted are there. So right now, if we start synchronizing these, we should be okay. But since we want these items over here that we already corrected, what we need to do is to copy them to our map drive. Okay, we encountered an error saying that not allowed .log file already exists, and it asks us if you want to skip, replace the file destination, or comparable files. Let's skip this file, since I don't know if this one is the same as the one that is already there. Let's skip this file. And we copied every folder to our map drive, which is connected with our SharePoint library. Now, let's rename this file and copy it here. And that's done. Now, if we go to our library, refresh the page, we already have our folders here as well as our file, and since we already have it, we can delete our backup that we had on our desktop. Let's delete it. Now we copied every folder at the same time to our Z drive. It's better if you copy smaller groups of folders so that we don't have such a large operation doing it in just one time. In here we had few folders with very few files, but in case you are copying a large amount of folders, don't copy them all together. So right now, let's synchronize our OneDrive for Business again. So what we do, we go to the site, to our online library, we click sync. Okay, it's our documents library in our own personal site. Let's click sync now. Okay, a folder was created. Let's click show my files. And here we have it. So it's the files here are already synchronized. This one is still synchronizing, as this is as well. And this folder over here, notice that this folder before had, it was a simple empty folder when we tried to synchronize, but now if we open it, we already see files inside and another folder here. So let's wait to have this completely synchronized. Oh, we have an error message over here. Let's see. Might have been something that we missed. It's just in one file. Let's see which file. It's probably when it's still synchronizing. Let's wait for it to be completely synchronized. And it seems that we have already synchronized, so that error message initially it simply repaired itself. Once the application encounters it, continues to synchronize, and it seemed that it was just a mis-synchronization, but it repaired itself. And if we go back, right now our OneDrive for Business is completely updated with all the files synchronized and everything is corrected. So since this is already working properly, it's already synchronized, what we do now, we will disconnect our map drive since we no longer need it to analyze the content. And here it is. So this, with this process that we did over here, notice now this was our old folder, so we have a backup of all the files over here from our old folder. If we notice that before we had the synchronization stuck, so if we did any changes to any files or added any files on our old folder before, they might not have been synchronized to the site, to our online library. So now, when we already have our folder here completely synchronized, we just need to continue to work on our files over here. And if we notice that a file is missing or some changes that were quite important on a document are missing, what we need to do is to go back to our old folder, _old, and look for the files and replace that file here on our synchronized folder. And I guess this is it for the issue of having a stuck synchronization.